Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Mariners franchise here on the channel. And we are starting Season 4 as we look back on the previous 3 seasons. So in Season 1, we were really close to making the playoffs, and we won the games we needed to win, but at the end, the Chicago White Sox just edged us out as they got 89 wins compared to our 87 to grab that last wild card spot. As we moved on to Season 2, and one change we wanted to make was pretty much rebuilding this offense, and that started with Paul DeYoung, acquiring him in trade as we gave up D. Gordon, Eric Gasaldo, who was our 3rd round pick but a B potential pitcher, and then our young outfielder Braden Bishop, who was close to making the MLB roster. But then towards the end of Season 2, we got down to the final games and faced the Red Sox in a 3-game set, and we just could not keep up with their offense. They had 3 MVPs, the last 3 in Season 1, 2, and 3, with Chris Sale, JD Martinez here in Season 2, and then Chris Sale again in Season 3. The Red Sox have dominated this franchise in this series as they went on to the playoffs after Season 2, and then we moved into the offseason, and we decided to get better and get a superstar, and that's when we went after Corey Kluber, and he was going to be our ace for the rest of his career as we signed him to a 3-year deal and locked him up, as we decided to make our bullpen even stronger, going after Kirby Yates, who was a late bloomer in his career, but he was good and we needed some relief help. Then we saw some interesting things in the offseason. Mookie Betts switched over from the Red Sox to the Yankees, signing a big deal. Anthony Rizzo got traded 3 times in the offseason, and Yasiel Puig was acquired by the Oakland Athletics, as the Athletics were just trying to keep up with the Corey Kluber signing. So then we move on to Season 3, and we actually did make the postseason, won our division, and made it to the ALCS in a matchup versus who else but the Boston Red Sox. So down in a series 3-2, well, we started to make our comeback. We took the 3-0 lead moving into the later parts of the game, but the Red Sox, bases loaded, their offense started to show up, and they tied the game up and moved on to the 8th inning with the 1-run lead, and then they eventually hit a deep fly ball into the bullpen, and that was pretty much the end of our lead. Justin Upton goes deep on that one and makes it a 5-4 game going into the bottom of the 9th inning, where Omar Narvaez could not provide the spark he's been providing this whole entire series, and the Red Sox go on to the World Series once again. So that's where we move on to the offseason. We decided to pick up a couple of guys, Andrew McCutchen, and we needed some veteran presence in this locker room, and then Christian Yelich, 30 years old. He decided to sign with the Mariners, come back to the West Coast, a 5-year, $75 million deal. And that's where we start out this season. Corey Kluber is still our ace here in Season 4. And you know what? I think this could be our year, as we just needed a little bit more offense and better pitching in the playoffs. And I think that this could be it. Shelby Miller is on the mound for the Texas Rangers to start out Season 4. And Corey Kluber will be our ace once again. 20-5 last year. Not the greatest of numbers based on his last couple of seasons, but I think it's really good. And it's an upgrade for Seattle, as we just needed some pitching help, and we got it in him. But going up against the Rangers have not been good at all, really. They were in 2nd place last season, but they're going to be looking to make waves in this one. But I just don't think they have the roster this year. So here we go. Let's kick off Season 4. Here is Uebiyashi in his 3rd season with us. He starts it out in the top of the 1st with a hit down the line. Here's Christian Yelich. He is going to get a pitch right down the middle. and fly out to center field. Paul DeJong is going to be looking to bounce back here in Season 4. In Season 3, he hit about 240, actually like 230, and here he is hitting one deep off the left field wall, and that one is going to knock off, and we're going to score a run on that one. And Paul DeJong on his horse is going to make it all the way to third base on this triple, so that is going to be the first RBI of Season 4. Up comes Marwin Gonzalez, hitting in the 5-hole this year. And remember, Marwin Gonzalez is a guy that hits well in the regular season, but in the postseason last year, he just disappeared. So here's Corey Kluber on the mound, facing this lineup who I think, they kind of took a step back. They did acquire Gregory Polanco in the offseason. Here he is at bat, hitting in the 3 spot, but he is going to swing and miss at a curve ball in the dirt. As now we move this one on to the top of the 4th. Here is Christian Yelich up for his second at-bat of the game, and he is going to swing at an inside pitch and may have been out of the zone, but it's a pop-up to the catcher behind home plate. So that brings up Paul DeJong. Up next, he's going to hit a little blooper to right field. It's going to be run down by Nomar Mazara. As we move on to the 5th inning now, McCutchen, he can't catch up to that curveball low in the zone. And here comes Daniel Vogelbach at the plate. He's going to hit one deep to left field. That one does have some carry, and it does hit off the foul pole in left field. And that is going to be the first home run of Season 4 here in 2022. And Vogelbach makes it a 2-0 game. So we do decide to quick manage, and look at this. Joey Gallo goes deep, and he ties this game up at 2 apiece. And that brings up Nomar Mazara to continue this 6th inning here with 2 outs. And he is going to get a hit up the middle. So that brings up JT Realmuto at the plate. He's going to hit a chopper to first base. And we are going to flip it to Kluber. And he is going to tag Realmuto for the 3rd out of that inning. So we move on to the 8th inning. Here is Vogelbach at the plate. He's going to watch one on the inside part of the plate. And he starts out this 8th with a walk. So that brings up Omar Narvaez. A pitch right down the middle of the plate. He's going to go to opposite field, moving Vogelbach over to second base. As now we got guys on first and second here with no outs. Malik Smith at the plate. He's going to get a hanger, and with 2 strikes, he is going to swing and miss. We did attempt to bunt those runners over. So that brings up Tim Beckham. He hits a chopper to third base, and they're going to go to second with that one. And that's a risky throw, throwing across his body, but he does get the out at second base. And that brings up Seihei Uebiyashi, but he is going to hit one to second base. And that is going to be a ground out as we move on to the 9th inning. Here's a chopper to third. Here's Tim Beckham fielding that one cleanly. That is going to be an easy out at first base. Realmuto was at bat that play. So here comes Colomé back on the bump, and he is going to get Odor to strike out looking on the inside changeup. So this one is going to move to extra innings, and Malik Smith trying to get us going here as we try to bunt on, and he goes up the middle on the next pitch, 1-2 count, and he is going to start us out in the 11th with a leadoff runner. So that brings up Tim Beckham, who's going to swing one low in the dirt, but Malik Smith is going to advance to second base on that, as now we have a man on second with 1 out. Uebiyashi at the plate, but he's going to swing and miss at an inside fastball. Could not catch up as that one was out of the zone, as it brings up Christian Yelich, who does hit a grounder to first base. Joey Gallo fields that one cleanly, and now we move on to the 12th. We decide to quick manage, and look who comes up. It is going to be a home run by Marcell Ozuna, and they go on to win this game 4-2 in the opener. We just wanted a quick manage to get through that inning, and we pay the price, and we end up losing that one 4-2. So now we move on to the second game here in this 4-game set, as I initially thought it was a 3-game set, but it actually is a 4-game set, as here is Kikuchi on the mound for us. We're going to be looking for him to have a huge year because he is now at 90 overall. And you could just see this game. He showed up, went the distance, only giving up 2 hits, 13 strikeouts for Kikuchi. What a debut here in Season 4. So we move on to the third game now. Cole Winn on the mound for the Texas Rangers, as our pitching staff is filled with a lot of potential as a unit. Jeremy Hellickson on the mound for us. 15-10 last year. He's been a pretty good signing for us. We did trade for him in Season 2, and he's been showing up ever since. So here is Hellickson on the mound facing this Rangers offense, and there's going to be a ground ball to Marwin Gonzalez, who is playing shortstop over Paul DeJong simply because of the arm, and Paul DeJong is the better fielder, but I do feel a little safer with that, just a bit more arm strength at shortstop. So up comes Joey Gallo to the plate. He's going to hit one deep down the right field line, and that one is going to just curve around the foul pole, as Joey Gallo gives Texas the 2-0 lead as they eventually score another run as we move on to the third. So up comes Vogelbach up to the plate. He's going to go to opposite field, and that one is going to be crushed. And Vogelbach has his second home run of these first 3 games. He goes deep, and he cuts this lead down to 2 runs. So now we move on to 2 outs here in this inning. Here is Tim Beckham at the plate. He's going to watch one on the inside part, and that is going to be a walk here with 2 outs. Up comes Uebiyashi. Can we keep the 2-out rally going? And no, we can't. He's going to swing at one out of the zone, and we move on to the 4th. So here's Christian Yelich at the plate. He's going to hit one to right field. That one is going to sneak through the infield for a leadoff single. So that brings up Paul DeJong. He's going to hit a deep fly ball to right field, but it is going to stay in the yard for the first out of the inning. So that brings up Marwin Gonzalez to the plate. He's going to hit a ground ball to the right side. It's going to sneak through past Odor, and now we got guys on first and second here with Andrew McCutchen at the plate. He gets a hanger. He's going to go to opposite field with that one, and it's bases loaded here in the 4th inning. 1 out here for your Mariners. As up comes Vogelbach, already hit a home run in this game. He's been hot so far. He hits a blazer down the left field line, and that one is going to bounce off the wall perfectly to Ozuna, and he comes up firing, but Marwin Gonzalez does get home on that one, does make it safely, and it's 3-3 here in the 4th inning. Omar Narvaez at the plate. He is going to pop up to the catcher, Real Buto, as now Malik Smith comes up. 2 outs. He's going to bump one down the left field line, try to get it on, and it's going to be safe at first. Wow, what a perfect bunt, as Wynn could not throw him out at first base. So that brings up Tim Beckham, hitting in the leadoff spot. He gets a wild pitch, and look at him. He's waving his man home, and we are going to make it safe at home. And wow, that actually hit off Tim Beckham off of the backstop, and we take the 1-run lead. This at-bat continues. Here's Tim Beckham going to opposite field, and Mazzara is going to end up throwing, and they are going to cut it off as Malik Smith with 89 speed will make it home. It's 6-3 here in the 4th inning as Uebiyashi comes up, hits a hard ground ball to Odor, but we do take the lead there in that inning. So now we move on to the 5th inning. Here is Christian Yelich at the plate. He's hitting the ball well in this one. He hits one down the left field line, and that is a leadoff double here for the newly signed Mariner. So that means Marwin Gonzalez is up next with 1 out. He's going to hit one to center field, and that's going to be run down by Zach Granite. So now here we are, McCutchen at the plate. Maybe adding some insurance to our score here, but it's going to be a ground ball Odor, and 3 outs as we move on to the 6th inning. So up comes Vogelbach to the plate. He's going to hit one hard up the middle, and look at him. He is on a tear so far to start this 6th inning. Malik Smith comes to the plate. He's going to hit one down the right field line, and that is going to be off the wall. And look at Mazzara. He has a little bit of trouble handling it off of the wall. He's going to get it to the cutoff man, and we do score Vogelbach all the way from first base. And we take the 7-3 lead here in the 6th inning. So now we still have a man on third base here with 1 out, and Tim Beckham is going to hit a missile to center field, and that is going to score Malik's from third. It's 8-3 here on the road here in the third game of this 4-game set. Here is Marwin Gonzalez at the plate now with 2 outs in the top of the 9th as we move on. Here is a shot to right field. Mazara cannot dive and catch that one. And that's going to bring up Andrew McCutchen to the plate. Here on a 2-2 count. He's going to go up the middle, and I really like him in a DH role for us. Definitely that veteran presence in the locker room and on the field, as I love what he's doing for us so far. Here's Vogelbach at the plate. He's going to go off the wall, and look at McCutchen with 70 speed. That's why I like him. Having speed at the DH position and somebody that can hit, I mean, that's going to be really, really helpful going into this season, as he did hit around 300 last year, and I'm going to look for him to do that again, as here is Omar Narvaez up at the plate, and that is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. But then we move on to the bottom of the 9th, and we get into a little bit of a jam with Dan Altavilla on the bump, and there is Joey Gallo at the plate. With one swing, he can make it a 1-run game. So on a 2-2 count, he gets a pitch high in the zone. It's a splitter, and he's going to pop this one up to shallow right field. But Christian Yelich doesn't have the strongest of arms, remember that, as he comes up throwing, and that is going to be a tag up by Marcell Ozuna at third base. And now that makes it 10-6. Here's Mazara at the plate. He's going to hit a ground ball, and that one is going to end this one. As we start out this season 2-1, and I actually did sim the next one, and we actually ended up losing. So really, we start out 2-2. But here we won this game. This is a solid win, and we kind of split between the Rangers here in this 4-game set. And Vogelbach had a big game this one, 4 for 5. As I'm going to be looking for him to have a big season as well, as he will kind of play a platoon role at first base with Ronald Marte, but we'll see how he does compared to Marte. If Marte doesn't show up, then Vogelbach may be the full-time first baseman. Who knows? So hit subscribe, hit that like button. We will be continuing this franchise, so more will come. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.